the takeover by GIP. So I don't think that's particularly untypical in a substantial business change as this. And you know, many of the people that have left have gone on to great new opportunities already, and I'm delighted for them. But it is, particularly at the senior levels, when you're changing strategy, you're changing pace, you're changing culture, I think it's quite typical that you get that sort of level of change.
It sounds like a lot, Gordon, if you don't mind me saying.
It is a lot. It is a lot of change, and clearly it's a very high percentage. It doesn't equate to that in other parts of the organisation, but I think it's natural that the leadership team, the executive team, are where you see the most substantial change.
Working around the clock at the other end of the airport is the business development team. They're charged with analysing the stats, facts and figures and passenger flow data. Under the new management, mining this data is the key to success.
We need to understand the market, the wider market around Edinburgh Airport, so we need to know about the city and the surrounding area. We need to know the businesses that are based in the city. We need to know the tourist attractions that are in the city. We need to know the events that are going in and around the city, so the festival, the Open, all of that. We need to know about that so that we can sell Edinburgh to airlines that are thinking of coming here.
It's taken months to get to this point, but now the sales team feel ready to attend one of the biggest events in the aviation calendar.
We're off to Budapest for the annual Routes Europe conference, which is effectively a short conference where lots of airports and airlines get together to decide whether there's any future for the two of them together.
So we've got a very busy diary and lots of people to meet, so it's making sure in that very short space of time we do all the work that the team have done justice and actually get some good results out of it.
For the next 2 days, new airline routes worth eye-watering amounts of money and investment will be brokered in the Hungarian capital.
Ladies and gentlemen, meeting session 1 has now commenced.
The future growth of Edinburgh Airport is entirely in the hands of their small sales team. This is where airport meets airline, and they have just 20 minutes to state their case.
It's been referred to for quite a few years now as speed dating, just because it's a fairly good analogy. You've got these short 20-minute meetings, and you know, at the end of that meeting you sort of decide whether you're going to exchange phone numbers and stay in touch, or whether you're just going to part as friends and maybe meet another year or whatever. So you know, you've got a short period of time to have a quick chat and, you know, decide whether there's a future for the pair of you. So we've got a few of the usual, a bit about the city, which we'll just run through really quickly, if that's all right with you, and then we'll get on to the numbers, which is the stuff that talks at the end of the day. So
the time limit encourages a focused sales pitch. There's no time for small talk, and competition is fierce.
It's a destination of choice, not just for the leisure passenger, but also for the corporate and also for the business. We're the biggest British Airways operation outside of London, just in terms of number of flights, and obviously a very key corporate sector for British Airways.
When Edinburgh Airport was represented by BAA, they were one of 7 airports in the group. This is the first time the team are standing on their own 2 feet, a point not gone unnoticed by the conference organisers.
When you're in that environment as an independent operator, new owners, different drivers than you had before, you're going to compete hard and you're going to promote your airport in a much stronger way than perhaps you did when you were part of a collective entity. So it can only be a good future for Edinburgh.
The Routes Conference attracts around 2,000 delegates from over 300 airlines and airports.
pretty high demographic travel.
For the Edinburgh team, the gruelling first day is rewarded by a deal with Thomson First Choice Holidays for the summer of 2014.
Good. It's great to have agreement on the deal. We'll look forward to putting that forward to you in writing. Good. Tom's just a little bit upset about the deal I've done.
Tom will always be upset. That's never going to change.
That's not,
at least we've come to some agreement now.
At least we know, and we're all friends.
And it's good having the base now here around Edinburgh, which is the most important thing, because Thomson and First Choice have been waiting for a long time to get that market into Edinburgh. We're in there now, and it's excellent.
It's really good to come away with a win, but as I say, it's just really good to embed relationships, develop relationships, So you can actually, you're building the platform for the future as well as just getting new stuff for existing stuff in the bag. No, we're up early tomorrow. We've got meetings at 8:30.
Meetings from 8:30 in the morning.
From 8:30 right through till the close of play tomorrow afternoon. So it's back on the pitch tomorrow.
In its first year, the new management have already brought in an additional 92 flight movements a week, with Virgin's Little Red scheduling 6 return flights a day to London. It's a big new initiative requiring careful management within the terminal's already squeezed structure. And like all new ventures, it comes with 1 or 2 gremlins. But the inaugural flight arrives exactly on time. And in traditional Virgin style, it's full of surprises.
Richard Branson. What more can I say? He's his own man. He knows how to get attention. He knows how to get coverage, and it really doesn't matter as long as we fill up the column inches. People know that we're flying to Heathrow with Virgin Atlantic, and know that they can make that choice.
The hubbub created by the Virgin launch is an opportunity for the airport's boss to hammer home the major PR coup.
It definitely raises the awareness around the world when airlines are looking at the next airports they want to fly to. So us having Virgin will definitely be dropped into conversations when I'm talking to other airlines. And it makes a huge difference to the team as well. Everybody loves days like this. This is what you jump out of bed for in the morning.
Just weeks after the Virgin launch, Turkish Airlines expand their operations from 5 to 9 flights a week to Istanbul. Their relationship with Edinburgh began at a Roots conference, just like the one in Budapest. Back in Hungary, it's day 2 of the Roots conference. The sales team from all the Scottish airports are given a point of focus and a place to meet by the Scottish Government. Denise Hill from Visit Scotland works hard behind the scenes, promoting Scotland at every opportunity and acting as a matchmaker, introducing aviation sales teams to prospective clients.
The reason for being here is simple. It's about Scotland on an international stage. We want to do business with the world. We want to have international tourism inbound to our shores as well. And in this day and age, airline connectivity is absolutely critical for both of these. So an event like the Roots Conference is just one of the tools in our arsenal for making sure that we're working hard together to get more flights into Scotland.
One major client on everyone's list is American Airlines. They are one of the largest carriers in the world, and striking a deal with them would result in many direct flights to the USA, connecting to hundreds of other destinations worldwide.
Reed and I are route planners at American Airlines, and we're planning now our future capacity levels. So we look at a lot of data in our headquarters on trying to identify future potential new route opportunities. And but the numbers only tell us so much. So that's why we come to these events a few times a year to actually meet with the airports that we're interested in.
The pleasure of flying on
the Edinburgh team have got just 20 minutes to win them over. Routes, profits and personal pride are all on the line.
We've got some data for you. And okay. Everyone likes data these days, right?
We do like the data. It's basically what we're going on. So,
United States is a really important market for Scotland. We've got over 324,000 visits from the United States origin to Scotland every year. It's our biggest visitor market.
What we tend to find is there's actually some quite constrained demand going over the Heathrow hub. There's actually not enough capacity to get us across, particularly to North America.
We got along very well, I think. We thought their presentation was very valuable. They made a strong and compelling case for why it could make sense for American to consider Edinburgh in the future.
Have you been to Edinburgh?
I haven't. It's on my list of places I'd very much like to see. We've heard really good things about it, and the pictures are beautiful. I'd love to see the castle, for example.
And just one thing, can you just say the word Edinburgh for me, can you?
Edinburgh? Edinburgh?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
I believe
We're
it's
learning.
I believe it's Edinburgh. I used to pronounce it Edinburgh, but I believe it's Edinburgh. Is that not correct?
It's tricky for the Americans.
There are many tricky pronunciations in the aviation dictionary, but the resident voiceover expert in Edinburgh knows how to articulate them all.
Lufthansa regret to announce a delay to the arrival of flight number LH417 from Frankfurt. This flight is now estimated to arrive in Edinburgh at 1600 hours. Well, somebody may say the flight to Gatwick is late.
Right.
So I would then say that they'd have to pronounce all their letters of the alphabet and say that the flight arriving from Gatwick will now arrive at 1700 hours. But to change the tone and to slow down the speech, most people speak quite quickly. So I try and get them to slow down their speech and think of every word before they say it. And it's good homework to practice on their family. I mean, I've not been unknown to practice on mine on a Sunday.
Like who?
Like my granddaughter may say, "Gran, go and do your tannoy voice." So I'll say, "Dinner will be served in 20 minutes. Please make your way to the dining room and take your seats in the appropriate places." And they all laugh at that. I think that's great. Due to the late arrival of the inbound aircraft, flight number LH418 to Frankfurt is now estimated to depart at 1730 hours. 24 years just passed. Came in into security as a temp and decided I liked the airport, so I just stayed. In with the bricks now. I love my job. I love the people. I suppose I'm like the mother figure to a lot of them because I bring them in, I give them a cup of tea, I make them feel welcome. I've been here a year or two, so it's just the way they look at me.
300 security cameras are positioned around the airport, and duty manager Lorna Firth checks them regularly to monitor the passenger experience.
Sheila, can you grab some footage for me, please? Yeah. Let's do your seat then.
Earlier, Lorna received a complaint that some passengers were stuck in a holding corridor on their way to catch their flight.
I just want to check what happened, because apparently they were held for 25 minutes, which is not ideal. So I just want to make sure that somebody wasn't doing something that they shouldn't be doing, because it can be a very good experience for the customers.
Boarding at gates.
No sugar.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
How long do you think they were standing for?
At least thought 20
I thought
minutes.
20
Ah,
minutes.
really? 25 minutes is too long.
Lorna started as a temporary security officer. That was 10 years ago.
Lorraine, when I first got my job as a TDO, Lorraine was one of the first people that I met when I came down to the control centre, and at that time it used to be next door.
You work long hours with quite a few people and you do get to know them very well. So you do become quite close.
And the thing is, see, because you work with the people, I think sometimes you find out more about each other's personal life than some of their closest friends, because you're in a close environment and you spend a long time together. And you can confide in each other and things like that.
And you look after the younger.
Look after the younger ones, of course I do. I look after them all in here.
I'm glad that you're looking at me when you're saying young. I've got to do this now.
Lorna has seen many changes in terminal operations, but under the new management, the biggest have yet to come. For the first time in a UK airport, 3 new self-check-in and bag drop machines have been installed, with the aim of reducing check-in time to less than 30 seconds.
So how we look at it is the amount of time it takes for a customer to come to check in